Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Monday morning, and of course today is it's February the 5th. And anyway, I hope that you had a great weekend. I hope that you were able to hopefully enjoy some time with maybe with your family. Some time and maybe around the house to get some things done. But anyway. Hope that you were able to worship at your place of choice yesterday, and we had a great weekend. Angie and we were able to go to a pastor wife retreat for the weekend, and certainly feel refreshed and kind of recharged. And anyway, it was good to be able to to worship with other pastors and their wives and just enjoy a weekend. But anyway, now it's Monday morning, and we're at the start of another week, and certainly hope that you're feeling well. Hope this morning finds you well, and that you're ready to tackle the opportunities that we have ahead of us on this Monday. This morning, I want to share a devotional with you entitled "Ageless Faith." In Joshua chapter 14, verse 9, it says, So that day Moses solemnly promised me, the land of Canaan on which you were just walking will be your grant of land, and that of your descendants forever, because you wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. The pages of the Bible are filled with stories of those who did not cross the finish line in the race of life. They had great potential. They started well, but they ended miserably. Yet how important, is that it is that, we make it over the finish line. The writer of Hebrews warns us in chapter 3, verse 12. He says, "Be careful then, dear brothers and sisters, make sure that your own hearts are not evil and unbelieving, turning you away from the living God." And then verse 14 continues, "For if we are faithful to the end, trusting God just as firmly as when we first believed, we will share in all that belongs to Christ." Caleb was someone who was faithful to the end. I mean, of the 2 to 3 million people who left Egypt, in the Exodus, he made it across the finish line. He was an unsung hero of the Bible. Caleb, he stands as a shining example of someone who never lost his edge spiritually. At the age of 85, Caleb said the following in Joshua 14:11. He said, "I am as strong now as I was when Moses sent me on that journey, and I can still travel and fight as well as I could then." So we have to ask, where did Caleb find the resources, the true spiritual grit, to do, so well when others, failed so miserably? Well, Joshua chapter 14 gives us some insight. Speaking to Joshua, Caleb said the following in verses 7 and 8 of chapter 14. He said, "I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to explore the land of Canaan. I returned and gave an honest report, but my brothers who went with me frightened the people from entering the promised land. For my part, I wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God." 45 years earlier, Moses, along with Joshua, Caleb, and the children of Israel, arrived at Kadesh Barnea, on the edge of the promised land. Their trek across the wilderness, had been quick, but instead of entering the land that God had promised them, they first sent in spies, to check out the land. Moses, he sent in 12 men, and among them were Joshua and Caleb. And when the spies brought back their report, 10 of them were terrified by what they saw. They looked at the land through the eyes of unbelief, and fear had paralyzed them. Meanwhile, Joshua and Caleb, they saw the land through the eyes of faith. And Caleb said the following in Numbers chapter 13, verse 30. He said, "Let's go at once to take the land. We can certainly conquer it." But you see, it was the majority and not the minority that, influenced the people. The fear and the paranoia of the 10 that, convinced them more than the faith and the belief of the 2. In fact, the people were so angry with Joshua and Caleb that, for even suggesting that they enter the land, that they wanted to kill them both. Yet Joshua and Caleb, they refused to give in. You see, Caleb, he followed God fully and completely. And if we can learn to follow the Lord wholeheartedly like Caleb did, then the results can be the same for us. Because you see, Caleb's God is our God. You see, we serve the same God that Caleb, served. And that same God promises us the same things today. He promises to go with us. He promises to walk with us and be with us through whatever we're going to face in this world. And so anyway, I hope that encourages you here on this Monday morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. And remember, Angie and I love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.